Oxygen, heat, and fuel. Folks, this is how you have a fire. This is how we put a fire out. Y'all know there's 3 elements, and you have to have a chain reaction. If you got oxygen and fuel, what do you have to have a fire? What is it? Heat. If you're going to extinguish a fire, you take heat away. If you got heat and fuel, what are you waiting on? What happens if you kick a door in and you got black smoke coming out every eave in that sucker? That's how we get backdrafts. That's how we get flashovers. It's waiting on that oxygen. That's the reason we vertical ventilate, to get that crap out of the attic. Before I send you down here to pull ceiling on an exposure and you pull it down, all of a sudden it flashes over on top of you when you're pulling ceiling. I've been there. I got burns. Well, they're old burns now, the scars. They're probably wrinkled now, but that's the fact. That's all I was waiting on. This is simple. You kick that front door and you better be down low like I'm telling you. That's the reason you don't just bury up without pulling ceiling unless you go down that deal in case you got stuff in the attic above you. Oxygen, heat, you're waiting on fuel. You extinguish them. You're in a high rise, you're in an apartment building, you look down there and one apartment's burning, go shut the door. You're cutting the oxygen off, you're cutting the fuel out there in that hallway or wherever it is for it to burn. This ain't hard. We make it hard. Ventilate, get that crap out of the attic. Y'all know that. Heat rises, 6 cooler openings, cooler object. We talked about that, how it travels. Wind movements, all I want. We got natural, mechanical. We have this flow pattern crap that comes out where you have to control the flow pattern and where it goes. We've done that since I came to work. The windward side, you open the window 1/3 from the bottom. The leeward side, you open it 2/3 from the bottom. Heat rises, it comes down here, it comes out, and it pushes heat out in the room. I was that way and when I came to work. It hadn't changed any. All these people write books and do all this stuff, it's still the same way. You ventilate, you go from point A to point B. You set a fan in the front door, you open the back door, it goes from A to B. If one of those doors shuts inside, you're not getting to B anymore. You ventilate. Fan in, out the ceiling, out the roof. A to B. High rise. You pressurize the alpha delta stairway, go to the fire floor or go to whatever floor. Roof access is over here on the Bravo side. You come up, go across, and go out the roof. Point A to point B. It ain't hard. Don't make it hard. You can't go from point A to point B and there's no roof access. High rises, we have to cross ventilate. Break a window out is the only other option we have. So when you go in a high rise, you pick. When you first go in there, you pick which stairway we're going to do what in. Fight fire in one, ventilate in the other, whatever we're going to do. That's part of the high rise procedure. Smoke, y'all know all the stuff we look for. Volume, the velocity, density, the color. All I want to tell you is listen what smoke is telling you. It's telling you what the fire is doing, where it's going. Take a deep breath. Look. If you see smoke coming out the end down here, does that tell you not fire and the heat is going that way? Look and listen to what it does. Look at the color. It's telling you something. Listen to what it's telling you. What you've got burning. The amount of things we have burning in there. The velocity is coming out of there. It's telling you something. Listen to it. Only thing I want to go on, y'all all know what we're doing here. Alpha, Bravo, blah, 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 blah. Of course, we did a little high-rise school, and one of the safety officers came out. I don't know what I did with the blue pen there. And it's in my pocket. I'm getting senile, I guess. But anyway, we had active shooter down on Carvin Street. That's one of the best trainings I have been to in a long time down there with the police officers. Well, we're there, and they say, okay, evacuation corridor is set up. Make entry in the Alpha Delta entrance. Alpha Delta. That's here, right? Alpha Delta. A, B, C, D. Delta, Alpha. That's where I would think it is. It's on the Alpha side near Delta, that entrance. But the only problem, the entrance that's been cleared was actually the Delta Alpha. It was over here in this entrance that was clear, not here. You might think that's a little old thing that's not very important. It's a hell of a lot important if you're the one going in there. If you're inside buried up, and I sent truck 50 to go open up the door on the Bravo Charlie corner. Is that here? It's here, right? Well, if Engine 16's in here fighting this friggin' thing, all of a sudden they need to get out, and they know that they open this door. But if this intelligent incident commander tells them to open the Charlie Bravo door, where would you go? You go to this wall and start coming here trying to get out, instead of coming over here and getting out. It's a little thing, but it does matter. If you're in a 2-story apartment and I say, hey, we got ladders set on the Bravo Delta apartment windows. All of a sudden you got a bell. It makes a lot different if you're in this apartment or that apartment trying to get out. Common sense. Oh, I'm through. No, I'm not through. I'm going to go over high-rise procedure, just inline pumping, and that's it. And all I want, you know how we sector this inside? The division inside, fire floor is the lowest floor involved. If you got floor 8, 9, and 10, fire floor will be 8. Top control will be 11. It's the lowest floor involved in the fire is where fire floor is. Top control is the first one above it. Inline pumping is what I want to touch on. I want y'all drivers to realize it. I want you officers, if your driver's not here, I want you to take it back and go over to school with your people. To begin with, I want to emphasize something. Chief Williford, he was out there at the simulation deal and we did it and everything, and they was doing it. I want anybody in this room, because I've asked this the last 2 days and I've asked it for many months, to tell me, is there anywhere that you stage on a high rise? Engine 4, I'm out on 1901 Pacific all come to this stage. Is that anywhere in the high-rise procedures? Y'all guys just took it. It doesn't say that anywhere, does it? The only staging you do is smoke showing or not smoke. It's done. No smoke showing, 2 engines at the standpipe and 2 at the plug. Smoke showing, 2 at the standpipe, 2 bring water in. Trucks get the hell out of the way. First truck, fire floor. Second truck, lobby control. Third truck will be top control. Fourth truck's going to be Rick. First chief, stay outside, which is terrible, until the deputy gets there and you go to top control. Second chief, fire floor. Third chief, which Chief Barry is all the time, is lobby control. First ambulance, safe refuge area. Where's that at?
2 below the fire.
3 floors below the fire floor, or 2 floors, or the first floor below safe refuge. Resource floor. First ambulance, that's where they go. Second SDO, that's where they go. You rookies on an ambulance, you're setting it up until that SDO gets there. Go to command, with all your shit on, I'm here, you want me to go? Yeah. Second rescue, go to establish a resource, 2 floors below the fire floor. It's going to be a while before that 4th BC gets there because that's the first BC on second. So you ambulance guy, you got it. All 4 engines are simple. You go to the fire floor, carry all your crap, and hook them. If we don't have fire flowing, you still get all your stuff and go inside. You truck people, you get all your stuff and you go in the lobby and wait for assignment. The time it takes for you to get off, get your clothes, get all your equipment, and walk a block, how much has that fire advanced? Do I like to get all that crap on and walk up 14 flights of stairs? No. Hell, even Cap Royer, the way he is athletic, he don't want to do that. But that's the job. Smoke showing or not, it don't make sense. First 2 in goes there. Red line hooked to the standpipe connection, FDC. You hook them up on the opposite side of the panel, driver panel. You tie them off with your straps at the connection and at the engine. I got a picture on one of the other things with 36 engine tested, hose tested them. There's nowhere that we're supposed to test them. Hose test pressure for 2.5 inch new is what? I think it's been the same since I've been to work. 250 pounds? Annual test, 200 pounds? Does that sound familiar? They were just testing it. It blew the coupling off. High pressure hose. 36 engine. I've got a picture of it somewhere around here. Robert Myers, he was out there. He knew about it. He's the guy I got the picture from on the photograph. The other 2 engines, it's semantics. We call first and second, third and fourth. We're just throwing numbers out there, okay? People wonder why I assign companies en route. Folks, I want to know what you're doing. I can't even get my clothes freaking hardly. I can't even scratch my butt sometimes before we're at these places. So I want to know, engine 6, you're going to be the 4th engine. I need you to catch a plug on the way in. I don't want you to come up and all of a sudden start hunting for a plug. I want 2 engines at that standpipe in case we need them. And pray we won't need them. So that's going the way it is if no fire, nothing showing. That's the way we're sitting, right there. With the 4 engines. You're not on it, officers and people. You got all your stuff up there in the front door. All right, if you lay out, if you do have fire showing and you lay out, or fire floor commander gets up there and say, hey, command, we got fire up here. Then they lay out. Engine B, they lay a 5-inch, they turn around and lay a 3-inch from their self to engine A. And the reason that I say we have to do this stuff, I guess I broke it. Oh, crap. The other one I wanted to show you, but I can't get it done. This is what 1309 Main Street looks like most of the time. 2 o'clock in the morning. The Iron Cactus is right across the street from it. You can't get down it. So if I don't tell these engines, I need you to get to the standpipe, we're way behind. Six o'clock in the morning, yeah, we can get them in there easy. There's nobody down there doing anything besides walking their dogs. Well, there goes that. Now, inline pumping. Like I say, if you need to go out, I'm not going to apologize, but it's taking a little longer than what I anticipated. We got this building. We got a fire pump. Fire pump every 25 floors. 30 floors, 2 fire pumps. 55 floors, 3 fire pumps. A fire pump works just like the pump on our apparatuses. We have 2-stage pumps on our engine. If we have an engine sitting here, it's got 2 impellers in there. If they're turning at the same time, that's when you push that button and it goes to volume. We want water. These 2 are turning at the same time and pushing you water out. Set a ladder pipe, deck gun, we want volume. We want amount of water. If we're pumping a high rise, you're normally just pumping in cross lays, laying 3-inch lines, blitz lines, you're pumping in pressure. And what that means is these impellers are turning independently to build pressure, to help build pressure, to get pressure out. That's what you're doing in pressure. These fire pumps are the same way, only there's just pressure. They're pumping. Thank you, Chief. Thank you. It's pressure. That's all it is. We want pressure up, so they're turning independent. A 3-stage pump on the engines at Baltimore, Chicago, where they are, they've got 3 impellers. Oh, engine 18 used to be that way. It's got 3 impellers in there that builds the pressure up to get that high pressure. Okay. We got these 2 engines here. We got 2 more engines that laid from a plug. They're not pumping. If that pump is doing this job, we don't pump. We don't charge it. We don't do anything if that fire pump is doing its job. How do we know that fire pump is doing its job? Okay, water on the floor. How much water we got to have on the floor? Folks, it's not water. Have I mentioned water anywhere is pressure? We're talking about pressure reducer valves and what those are. They were installed. If we got a 30-story building and we need 300, 400 pounds to supply that high area from the bottom, because we're going to lose friction loss and all that, How much pressure do you think we got on that first or second floor? 200 pounds? 250 pounds? That's what a pressure reducer valve does. It reduces that pressure on that floor. So far up, it might be a different type pressure reducer valve, and it's going to reduce it again. That's what pressure reducer valves were put in there for. So, the way we tell is on the fire floor, at the connection, we put that elbow in the high-rise kit that we carry up. We put it on the connection there. We have an inline gauge that we put right there. Then we hook the hose to it. That inline pressure gauge has to show 95 pounds with the nozzle open, with water flowing. Not shut off, open. Well, we're going to have water downstairs or whatever, okay? You don't go on the fire floor if you got a fire. I will never, and I never have in my career, and I've fought a lot of high-rise fires, have one line attacking it until I've got two lines of backup lines. I'll be called on the carpet if I don't have a backup line on a 900 square foot house in South Dallas. You think I'm going to send you in a high-rise on the 30th floor without a backup line? I'm not real smart, but I have to answer to your spouses and your kids. Philadelphia, a window broke. They had one straight bore line. I don't even want to get involved in straight bore nozzle. They had one straight bore nozzle in there. 2 firefighters died when the window broke and the wind got them. By the admission of their own, the high-rise committee that did this thing, it takes 6 people to move 4 sections of 2.5 inch. 1,200 pounds, roughly. It might be a little more. I can get the biggest 6 friggin' guys out here and try to move that line in and try to go around a corner and come. I can get the biggest, meanest, toughest guy in here and get a water hose and put it underneath the front wheel of your car, and you ain't going to pull that damn little 3/4 inch hose or 5/8 inch hose around. You'll break it. What do you think a 2.5 inch that weighs that's on the corner has got a kink in it? You ain't going to pull it. That's common sense. If that window breaks and you got one line in there, what is those 4 other guys behind you? You might, the first 2 guys might be okay. But how about those other 4 people? They don't have any protection. Not that I'm a big proponent of, and they probably know it, I'm not a big proponent of having straight bore nozzles up there anyway. I never had a pump not work. I never had a fire I didn't get water. I know some of this came out with Robert Myers, was the captain at Levens, or Lieutenant Levens. They had a fire and they didn't get any water and they had to lay a soft sand pipe up the stair. Well, folks, that's on the 6th floor. What the hell did pressure reducer valves have to do with that? It's because the standpipe wasn't working. So we use apple and oranges to compare stuff? As you know, I'm kind of boisterous on this friggin' stuff. But we follow it. There's nobody in this fire department know high-rise procedures and follow high-rise procedures better than one District B shift. How much training have we had on it, Brian? You're tired of hearing it, aren't you?
I made that.
But we'll follow it, and we've made it work. We did a simulation right after I went, or right after we started this stuff. I talked Chief Didier, thank goodness he did it. He talked Chief Fernandez into letting us do an actual deal on Sunday morning, laying out lines, charging them, doing the whole thing on the 8th floor. We went up there, we laid 2 lines out. It took 40 minutes to walk up 7 flights of stairs. I got video of them. Hook up, get a backup line. Backup line never even got to the balcony where we were going to squirt water. It took 40 minutes to get that first line over there. We sent 2 people to the hospital carrying the stuff up. We got videos in there. You can't even move in the stairway. We hooked one of them up at the standpipe within the 6th floor in the middle of the floor and stretched it out to get in the stairway. You know, my fat old body, I can pull a 2.5 inch straight out here laying on the sidewalk. That's easy. You put a kink in it, or are you trying to pull it in something like that? Right, Kelly? We did it at 4s. We had to paint the walls after we got through, but we did it at 4s originally trying to do it. 95 pound water flowing. What does that 95 pound represent? 50 pound nozzle pressure for a straight bore. The remaining 45 is friction loss in here. So if you get on that floor, fire floor commander, radio's back, we only got 75 pounds. Okay? Command, these 4 engines, y'all pick one of these guys that's going to be the water source group. Engine 6 driver, engine 4 driver, whoever it is, they're the water source. That's who command talks to, that's who fire floor command talks to. Water resource engine 6, contact fire floor commander, you're going to have to start pumping. Engine 6 water resource to fire force commander, battalion 6. We've got 75 pounds, I need more water, more pressure. Okay, you're on the 10th floor. It's 145 plus 5 pounds per floor. So what is the pressure that they need? 195? These 2 engines, it's real simple. They either pump 0 or 200 pounds. If it's over 200 pounds, they start pumping. If it's under 200 pounds, they don't pump. They're just like another hydrant. That water comes unplugged, comes through their pump, it goes into engine A. Engine A, both of these engines pumps 195 pounds. Now, if we're on the 20th floor, now what do we need? 245? So what is these 2 engines going to pump? 200? 200. So what is engine A? What do they pump? 45? It's simple. It's not hard. Now, write this down, pass it on to your drivers, make sure they understand engine A's outlet gauge is going to show 245. Okay? It won't show 45, even though you're just barely idling to get that. Because you're getting 200 automatic from them. It's going to show 200 before you even start pumping. Okay, so it will show 245 on yours. You fire floor commander say, hey, we're in good shape. Shut it off. Not shut it off, but you're at where you need to be. Top control opens it up. Oh crap, we don't have but 50 pounds. Okay? Add 5 pounds of what you were pumping, then 245, now you're pumping 250 because they're on the floor above. One of the most important positions that we have is that you put somebody where that inline gauge is. Because if they start pumping above you, what is that going to do to yours? It's just like an engine. You gate it down. You gate each one of yours down to get the pressure you want. That's what you're doing. You gate that to get back down to 95. That's one of the most important, to put somebody there. Don't put a guy with an orange shield on there, okay? And don't put yourself there either. So that's most important. Briefly, I'm going to hit this high right deal and we're going to fly, guys. Fire floor is in control. He's got the radio. You don't flop your jaws unless you got something to say. The communication is in. It is precious. You think it's precious otherwise. It is in a high rise. I'm on that fire floor and I'm getting ready to send 2 companies in there. I don't want somebody down there in the lobby or somebody in command want their 15 minutes of fame and start giving some dissertation out there. I want the people to know, get off the radio. The most important division at a high rise is top control. Where does heat, smoke go? That's your exposure. Remember Risco? Fire floor is putting the damn fire out. Exposure and confinement. Top control, that's their job. Now, high-rise procedures, y'all study them, you know them as well as I do. It says, if top control is the 3rd truck, if they need a line, they'll communicate with the fire floor and get one of their engines to come up here and help lay a line. How many people did I tell y'all it takes by the high-rise committee's own for each line? 6. How many people do we have up there? 4 engine crews. There's 3. How many is that? That's 12, right? You got 2 lines. That's it. You got 3 people. Your driver's out there at that damn engine somewhere. You got 12 people. That's 2 lines. You don't have anybody send up there that poor little top control guy. Do y'all know, and I don't want to put Chris or any other chief in a position here, do you know anywhere in our procedure, anywhere, we send a company past the fire floor or a fire without a nozzle or a line? We do here. With a little quote, if you need one, talk to the fire floor commander. Really, was that not our argument in 2011 or 12 or whenever it was? Now, FYI, probably one of my last hurrah I'm doing is working on a change on the high-rise procedures. I'm making it simple. 6 stories. I'm recommending making I don't know what the hell low-rise, mid-rise, high-rise, all this crap is. I'm trying to make it simple. Category 1, Category 2. Get the same response. These 4, 5, 6-story condominiums and stuff we got to have hand lines, not master stream lines in there. So I'm working on, I've got it almost complete. It might be trash can, well, I'll be gone here, but my son is still be working. But it's Category 1 is what we do now. Category 2 is 6 stories below. I picked 6 floors. We turn in recommendations. How many times we turn recommendations in for 8 floors, whatever? 6 floors, we can get a ladder to the 6th floor. That's the reason I picked the 6th floor. Most of these condos and all this stuff, they're 5 floor, but I picked 6 because we can get a ladder there. 6th floor, Category 2. Get the same response Because I know how hard it's going to be to go in and try to change all this crap on responding. Still have everything we got. Lobby control would be at alpha entrance or close to it. Wherever command sets it up, but normally alpha. That's where lobby control is going to be. Still have a resource division that we have as close as we can somewhere. Command sets it up. We have safe refuge, and we have the resource division. We get SDOs, because life safety is one of our biggest problems on those things. If y'all got any input, send it to me. But we got to do something on these 4. How many of y'all have got these in your district? God, we got them everywhere. We have to address the issue because we can't lay 2.5-inch line and lay it 600 friggin' feet and get in the attic to fight fire. If you can get a 2.5-inch up in the damn attic with a straight bore and fight fire, you're much of a person. I've got one of the strongest guys in the damn fire department back there, and I know Kelly can't do it. But I'm going to be doing that. I might be gone when I send it in, but y'all can trash can it or eat it or do whatever you want to. Elevators, 8th floor below, we walk. Every 5 floors we stop, shine a light up, see if there's any smoke in the elevator shaft, see what we're dealing with. We stop 2 floors below the fire floor and we hoof them. You put somebody on that elevator, normally I pick on and I use, and they know that, Brett knows that, George knows that, is whoever we put in the lobby. Hell, they got 4 people, 3, hell, they're not doing anything but standing there anyway, waiting on Chief Barry to get there. So they put one of their person on there, they radio command, be advised that truck 3C is the elevator person. Command writes it on the board, that's who we'll talk to get an elevator. Don't just put him on there and leave him. And please, don't put the orange helmet guy on there. Because he knows as much about elevators that that captain does. Every elevator works different. You got to have a fob key. You got to have a key. Some of them you got to push the button and turn the key. Some of them you just turn the key. Find out how it is. Get some building person in there and find out how it is and make sure that guy can run it. I've walked in an elevator and we go, hell, let me walk. Folks, I'm through. Like I say, I'll be here if you want to ask questions. I'm in, and whatever you want to do. This is taking a little longer than I expected, and it's probably good that y'all probably sabotage my PowerPoint when it won't turn anymore. That's but if you ever need anything, I'll probably be gone. You can call 17A shift, or you can call 4B shift and talk to True Love. They know how to get a hold of me. I'm here. I'm doing this because I have been blessed. I have lived a dream for over 50 years. This is a passion. It's love. I wouldn't know what else I would have done in my, well, I'm not smart enough to do anything else, but I don't know. I climbed telephone poles before I came here. But if you need me, don't hesitate. They're videoing it. They're going to edit and take all my 4-letter words out and all this stuff. And I guess y'all put it out sometime or whatever. I got some people that wants a PowerPoint on it. I told them I'd try to get it to them. I spent a lot of hours and a lot of stuff doing this, but that's a moot point. I want y'all to know. I talked to Lou about even maybe just copying this thing where there'd be all this stuff would be in a PowerPoint deal where you can go in there and write notes or do whatever you want to if you want it. I'm not paying for it, but if you want it, that's, I don't mind it. City's got plenty of money because they don't pay us anything. They don't pay our pension. So, crap. Thank y'all. Appreciate it.